I'm never going to let that one die. I don't know why it's so funny to me. The Browns will be without their head coach, Kevin Stefanski, due to COVID. Mike Prefer will be the acting head coach. Their facility has been closed since December 30th. 5 players, fellas, are out on the COVID list. Meanwhile, Baker Mayfield has not thrown a pass since Sunday due to virtual practices. Juju with a little trash talk.
Nah, I think they're still the same Browns team out there every year. I think they're nameless, great faces. Yes, they have a couple good players on their team, but at the end of the day, like, I don't know, like, it's the Browns, and that's just, like, one of the things that, AFC North football, and they're a good team, but I'm just happy we're playing them again, this Sunday.
All right, Juju talking that talk. Stephen A., I'm going to start with you. Stephen A. looking like brick today. He's about to murk somebody. Do you think your Baker, can upset your Steelers?
Hell no. I'm not predicting that. But by the way, since you brought up Brick in General Hospital, I will be on next Wednesday and Thursday. Next Wednesday and Thursday as Brick on General Hospital. Stay tuned. Now let me get back to
what happens when you take off 17 pounds.
About this. That's right. Excuse me? What'd you say, Max?
I said, see what happens when you take off 17 pounds back to back.
Well, listen, man, I got to do what I got to do, but I got to give Ryan Clark love, man. You'd be very, very proud of me. He said it yesterday, consistency. I took 2 days off, slacked off a little bit, then saw Ryan Clark talk about consistency. I got my behind right back in the gym the last 2 nights. So, I heard him loud and clear. Max, by the way, you got to figure something out, bro. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway,
I can see you on the Peloton.
Hey, Stephen A.
Pedaling away.
Stephen A., you motivated me.
Listen, here's the deal. That's right. I did motivate you, and you got on the elliptical, and you hurt your back, brother. I'm just saying, let's figure that out. Talk to Ryan. He'll help you. Here's the deal with the Steelers. The elliptical ain't gonna get it done. You got to do more than that. But the elliptical ain't gonna get it done. Tell her, Ryan.
Degree of difficulty on the elliptical is not that serious.
It's 0.
That's right. No, and you hurt your back on the elliptical. That's very bad, Max. It's very bad. But here's the deal. I expect the Steelers to win. I'm predicting the Steelers are going to win. I do not believe that if they lose, it's going to be because of Baker Mayfield. I believe it's going to be because of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I believe it's going to be because of the Steelers' inability to run the football because they got the worst rushing attack in all of the National Football League, okay? Ranked dead last. If you go win, it's going to obviously be because Big Ben flinging that football to those 5 wideouts he got going with him. And I get all of that. But I don't believe Baker Mayfield is going to be the difference in this game. I believe it's going to come down to the Steelers' ability to stop the run of the Cleveland Browns. If they stop the run and they force Baker Mayfield to beat them, it's not going to happen. I'm predicting it won't happen. The Steelers will handle their business. The only other thing I want to say is that Juju Smith-Schuster, love the kid, love his promise, the whole bit. I just want him to talk a little bit less. You were dancing on midfield and stuff like that. Mike Tomlin had to put a stop to that because the level of production wasn't up to par. You in the playoffs right now. We want to see you perform tomorrow. Another season where you don't have 1,000 yards. Pump the brakes just a little bit. Just go out there and ball. Don't give anybody bulletin board material coming from you. Not yet.
Well, look, Juju Smith-Schuster said the Browns are still the Browns. Here's the problem. The Steelers aren't still the Steelers. If the Steelers were still the Steelers, that'd be one thing. I'd say Baker Mayfield can't upset the Steelers, but they're not. The Steelers still the Steelers means guys like Troy Polamalu and Ryan Clark making you pay. You can complete the play, but you are going to take something away with you that makes you maybe a little hesitant, that takes a little of your heart away. That was the Steelers, not just, we talk about run the ball, stop the run. There ain't guys in the secondary like that anymore. And the Steelers can't run the ball. They just can't run the ball. They can't block for the run. And Roethlisberger whether he can or he can't, he ain't throwing the ball down the field, right? Maybe the offensive line's not giving him enough time. Maybe it's age and he's changed the way he's played. He's getting rid of the ball quicker, dinking and dunking. But you don't see him successfully throw the ball down the field. Where's the vertical passing game? So the Steelers are not the Steelers that we all think about. Meantime, who are the Browns? Can they pull off the upset? Am I like in crazy land here? They just played the Steelers. This is an immediate rematch, and they won. What are we talking about? A team that didn't just play the Steelers? They did. And by the way, home field, as I said, in some instances, if it's New Orleans going to Green Bay, we could talk. But for the most part, it ain't what it normally is because of COVID, right? So it's not the same. The home field advantage is not the same. And the Browns aren't going to have Stefanski. That's true. You know who they are going to have? Denzel Ward, who they haven't had. Can the Browns do it? Absolutely they can do it.
Yeah, the Browns can do it. You really give the Browns a better chance than the Washington football team. I think what starts to stack up against the Browns is not having an opportunity to practice. And then when you really dive into that, you say, well, Kevin Stefanski was able to install, to insert, and scheme for the game to finish the year, right? Week 17 was against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Much of that will be carryover. You add Denzel Ward. Maybe Kevin Johnson comes off the COVID reserve list, so you get some other pieces. But think about this, guys. Mike Prefer is going to have to be a head coach for the first time ever in his career, and he didn't get a week of practice. He didn't get to have the guys in the building. They didn't get to feel the way that he moved around as the head coach, the way that he moved around as the decision maker. Alex Van Pelt didn't get to put together his offensive scheme, or didn't get to have the plays he wanted and get to communicate in the way with Baker Mayfield that he will as he calls plays this weekend or Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they definitely have a shot, right? You can run the football. You can obviously stop the run when you play the Pittsburgh Steelers and force Ben Roethlisberger to beat you and hope you don't get beat over the top the way you did with Mason Rudolph in the game last weekend. But what Juju Smith-Schuster is saying is something you inherit when you become a Steeler. When you walk into the Southside facility in Pittsburgh, these are two things you know. The first thing that you inhale is, every time we play the Baltimore Ravens, it's going to be a drag-out, knockdown fight, and you got to bring your lunch pail. That's what you know. And then you think to yourself, the Cleveland Browns are just the Browns. And Juju Smith-Schuster's only been in this league 3 years, and you think back to the first game, you stump them out 38-6. You feel like you lost the last game because Ben Roethlisberger isn't playing. Is he the guy to deliver the message? No. But trust me, that's the way those dudes feel in that building.
You know,
all right, we good, guys?
No disagreement there. Oh. No disagreement there. No disagreement there. But at the end of the day, even though I feel that way, and Juju Smith-Schuster, I have no problem with him feeling that way. Just articulating it makes me a little bit nervous, but not too much. Other than that, I still haven't gotten over the fact that Max Kellerman hurt his back on an elliptical.
Bro, that's crazy to me.
I've herniated discs in my back. What do you want from me?
That's like hurting your back sleeping.
I have herniated discs in my back. Stephen A. made the comment I could take off 5 or 10. I went on the elliptical between this show and the radio show for a half hour and my back went out.
But I didn't tell you I did it during the elliptical. I didn't tell you I did it during the elliptical. I mean, he's younger than both of us, Ryan, and he's got back issues.
You got to crawl before you can walk, brother.
Max. I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned. I mean, you're the youngest of the crew, and you got back problems.
For a second.
I'm very concerned.
All right, two questions, Max, before we go to break. Was there any resistance or was there any incline happening?
Nope. He was just rolling.
Real story or? No, there was nothing, Molly.
Right.
I just got on it for a half hour.
I don't want to hurt your street cred anymore. Let's
this
leave
is now
it there.
L4-5S1 is no joke.
All right, we got to go. I had a tag, but let's just go to the bumps because we're talking too long. When we come back here on First Take, it's a special playoff weekend. Will Derrick Henry and the Titans keep Lamar Jackson winless in the playoffs again this season? The fellas debate that. RC sticking around. Monday night, the College Football National Championship on our air. Who will get